All right, folks, check this out. I just came across this video, which is not getting the attention that it deserves, so we're going to talk about it here. Yesterday, JD Vance got mercilessly booed when his presence was announced at the Indiana State House. It just seems like anywhere JD Vance goes, even a ruby red state like Indiana, he gets booed. People express their disapproval of him, not only because he sucks, but the Trump administration, JD Vance, and every member of the administration are enacting the most dangerous and unpopular agenda in modern American history. So I want to play this clip for you that is just so funny of JD Vance getting booed. But before I do that, I want to zoom out a little bit and give you some context as to why JD Vance was in Indiana. You might be asking yourself that question. Well, he was meeting with the governor of the state and Indiana legislative leaders to discuss mid-cycle redistricting. And to cover up the meeting, to essentially pretend like it wasn't happening right in front of the American people, they put up a black curtain in front of the governor's office. I'm not joking. Like, this is the black curtain. You can see it says governor at the top of the door if I zoom in there. And they just put these like two interns outside of the office just to pretend that the vice president was not meeting with the governor of the state and legislative leaders. And what they were talking about in that room is cheating. That's what they're talking about. This conversation that's happening in Indiana, Texas, of course, and these other Republican states about mid-decade redistricting is to cheat. As I mentioned, their agenda is really unpopular. JD Vance gets booed anywhere he goes. Donald Trump gets booed anywhere he goes. They know that the midterms are going to be terrible for them. So instead of trying to run on their record, they're trying to change the maps to guarantee power. And that's one of the many reasons why people in Indiana were booing JD Vance yesterday. So take a look at this clip. As I mentioned, it's worth a watch.
Guess who's here right now? JD is here, speaking with Governor Braun right now.
Whoa. Hell yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. These signs are great. I'm laughing right now. These boos are fantastic. Shout out, maybe somebody that's watching this video right now was there yesterday. Shout out to you and all the other people that were. But I'm laughing at some of these signs. I don't know if I can find them. This one, this is why, I'm sorry. This is why I didn't vote for any of you. You can read the rest. Love that sign. Shout out to her for carrying it. JD, this one also just took me by surprise. JD Vance ate my cat. I wasn't expecting to see a sign that said that. And this one over here as well. We will not be silent. Resist. Love what I'm seeing here. The resistance across the United States is strong. JD Vance is getting booed everywhere he goes. And as I mentioned, it's not without reason. And it's not just these boos that you're seeing in these ruby red states, whether it be here or Donald Trump getting booed at the Club World Cup or whatever event they go to. It's also showing up in the numbers. Donald Trump's approval rating right now is in the toilet. Now, the New York Times has a conglomerate of all the different polls on Donald Trump's approval rating, and I believe they're actually being quite generous to him here with the rating. He has a 44% approval rating as it stands, 53% of people disapproving him, and a bunch of other polls actually have Donald Trump in the high to mid 30s, which seems a little bit more accurate to me, given how many people Donald Trump has attacked, the lives that he's ruined, the communities he's torn apart. His approval rating is trash, and it's even lower than Biden. Of course, Biden was relatively popular at this time in his term, significantly more popular than Donald Trump, and Republicans used to talk about Biden's approval rating in the polls all the time, and now they're not talking about approval ratings anymore. He's less popular than Biden. He's less popular than himself in his first term. He's obviously less popular than Obama. He's less popular than George W. Bush. His approval rating is terrible. And that's the same with J.D. Vance, the man who we just saw get booed. This is the RCP average across the board. Really terrible approval ratings. You can see Atlas Intel there, the second one down, which was one of the most accurate pollsters in the 2024 presidential election, has JD Vance down 11 points. 11 points. And overall, among all their polls, he has a 41% favorable rating, 47.2% unfavorable, because again, this administration, their agenda just is so unpopular. Nobody likes them. Not even the people that voted for Donald Trump and JD Vance are on board with what we're seeing. But obviously, this is one of the most concerning parts of this whole story. JD Vance getting booed is fantastic. I love seeing the video, but this is something that we all have to stay laser focused on, which is this mid-decade discussion on redistricting. Republicans trying to cheat right now as Texas is pushing their redistricting plan to add around 5 Republican seats before 2026. Other states are looking to follow, including Indiana, who obviously was the state in that clip. And let's just go through a couple of these. Let's start with Indiana. Republicans control 7 of 9 congressional seats. The state last redistricted in 2021, and some in the GOP orbit have floated another redistricting effort ahead of the midterms. J.D. Vance met with local legislators, including the governor, at the Indiana State House, where redistricting was among the topics discussed. Several White House officials were also in attendance at the meeting, including Deputy Chief of Staff James Blair and many others. A White House official told CBS News now they believe the meeting moved the needle on getting the Indiana Republican legislators on board with a redistricting effort in the Hoosier state and could potentially result in a GOP takeover of all 9 congressional seats. They are trying to rig the game. Missouri is doing the same thing. Republicans have a trifecta in Missouri, and the legislature is tasked with drawing its congressional districts. State lawmakers approved a congressional redistricting plan in 2022, after which Republicans won 6 of Missouri's 8 congressional seats. But some lawmakers want to expand their majority to 7-1. They want to take another Democratic seat away. State party leaders may target the 5th congressional district, although Cleaver, the current representative in that district, won by over 23 points in 2024. Republicans in neighboring districts each won by more than 40 points. So that's a seat they're going after. The final one I want to talk about is Florida. Florida Republicans have 20 seats in the U.S. House, with Democrats just holding 8. Although Democrats had challenged the current maps in court, the Florida Supreme Court in July upheld the elimination of a majority black district. Despite the victory, DeSantis said in July that he was seriously looking at asking the GOP-controlled legislature to redraw the maps to essentially help Donald Trump cheat. Now, this is very daunting. This is very scary to hear all these Republican states doing this, but Democrats are also stepping up. We have Kathy Hochul in New York, who's looking at redrawing the maps, getting some of these lunatic New York Republicans out of Congress, because if Republicans want to cheat, we're going to hit them back in the mouth too. California is looking at doing the same thing. Maryland, New Jersey, all these different blue states are looking to get on board. Michigan, Illinois, they will not go unanswered, essentially. So, man, a lot to cover here in this video, a lot to talk about, a lot going on in American politics. I recognize that this can be so tiring, but I hope clips like this, where people are holding signs like JD Vance ate my cat, give you a little bit of a smile in all the darkness, and understand that I'm so proud of you and I'm so thankful for all the work you're doing in your personal life. A lot of it's thankless. A lot of it's thankless, but understand that I am thanking you for that work. So enough of that. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.